Wisteria, you know, there's one place I had to come to talk about Wisteria, and that is RBG. You got to help me out here. So many people ask questions. I'm by no means an expert, but 3 things. What are 3 things people should be doing?
Well, one of the really big things is people think pruning wisteria is really complicated, and it's not. It couldn't be more simple, right? So the only thing that's different about wisteria is you prune it twice a year instead of once a year. So if you take, for example, this is a new growth from this year.
Right.
So around about August time, you're going to prune this back to 5 buds, okay? That allows the sun in, it allows the air in, and that's great for the flowering buds that will form later in the year. And then around about January or February, you can cut that further back to about 2 buds, and those 2 buds are going to form flower buds that are going to bloom prolifically. So it's not rocket science.
So 2 prunings. One we're doing in almost late summer.
Late summer, yeah.
And the other one we're doing in late winter.
Yes, exactly. And by doing that, you'll get really good flower production on your wisteria.
I heard some people tell me soil. They like poor soil.
Well, a lot of plants are kind of soil dependent, but like wisteria is a fairly resilient plant and it likes to grow in large amounts, as you can see here. So as long as you've got fairly decent soil, it should flower okay, right? The one soil it might suffer on is like sandy soil, but if you give it superphosphate feeding, it'll be just fine.
And it can get out of control.
It can get out of control, which is why it's good to prune, right? So you can keep it within its space. Also, if you find a new growth like this, and you've got a gap in the where the plant's growing, you can always train it into there to make it like some new growth. So it's a very versatile plant. So pruning's good, but also training it into new areas is good too.
And when it's in bloom, it looks like a bunch of grapes just blooming, and then that's when everybody wants to buy one.
I know. So that's a great tip, because when you go to the garden centre and you buy a wisteria, always make sure it's in flower, because then you know the plant's actually going to flower. Because if the plant's grown from seed, it can actually take 20 years to flower, and who's got that amount of time to wait around, right? So another great tip when you're at the garden centre as well is always buy a grafted plant or a cultivar, and if you look at the bottom of the plant, you'll see the grafting bulge, and you know that plant's guaranteed to flower within 4 to 5 years of planting it. So
there you go, there you go. It's always a blooming good day at the Royal Botanical Gardens. For more information, take a look at our link. You can click on, and it's always a great place to learn.
Perfect place to learn. It's awesome.
It is, it is.